Hey everybody, Brogar here. I just want to talk to you guys today about some aspects of duos and go over a few things in duos that I think if you maintain in your mind when you're playing the game or think about or just try to practice while you're playing a little bit more, I think you'll have more success at least in duos if not the whole game in general. So the first thing that I want to say that might seem pretty obvious, but it can be read into and analyzed a little bit is staying close to your duo partner in duos is really relevant for staying alive and having the ability to pick your teammate up in time so that you guys can still maintain a fight together. So I think this whole sequence is kind of a good example of why you stay close to your teammate. There's multiple instances where we both get peaks on the same person at about the same time, and it causes us to just murder them lightning fast or be able to cover our teammate better. So we just got into the city. There's 3 teams left other than us. I vaulted this, and as I vault this, I hear these guys moving up here, and I call it out to Crown. This guy hears us. He starts peeking. His teammate vaults at the worst possible time. I shoot the guy on the left. Chronic shoots the guy on the right. The guy on the right is half dead. So we push simultaneously. I push into this little side slot here so I can cover Chronic's push up the stairs. Because that corner of the stairs is a pretty popular spot for people to hold this from. So I'm holding the peak. No peek from him. He pushes out as I start to push, but because Chronic was already up there, I started moving as well so that I didn't shoot him in the back. And then I was going to be able to refrag from this angle, and Chronic, if he shot at me, was going to be able to refrag from point blank. So pushing simultaneously made that almost impossible for him to get away with it. So he shot at me, and Chronic melted him, and I just got the last bullet. So then these guys come in from our east. We know we're kind of pinched between two, but we got a good building to work with. They start pushing because the blue is forcing them in. I see him. I start throwing out Molotovs to try to cut their movement path, but bullets probably would have worked better there, Brogar. We're both peeking the same guy here, putting him in a difficult position. His teammate cannot help him in this position. Notice his teammate is split pretty dang far. He put this guy in a really bad spot. He finally comes to support his teammate at, almost the perfect time. But this guy's already half dead, and Chronic saw this movement. We knew nobody had angles on us from over here, so Chronic knew that this corner would be a good push for the top of the stair, and I was still fighting at the top of the window. Chronic making this push at the right time allowed us to guarantee this knock. I vault down, his teammate peeks, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even know he was here, but Chronic still has the God position, and he covers me from above. We still are peeking the same guys at the same time, so it worked well. See this guy sleuthing, and he decides to hold the peak. I hit him in the head, get the knock. So as soon as that happens, we're both going right to our grenades to try to secure the down. Unfortunately, the nades didn't really pan out. But we saw which way he crawled, so we ventured it. Just intuitively, it's like, all right, well, his teammate's probably in this direction if he's crawling in this direction. So we both push, but look at this. Like, a good player might take us both down at this, in this situation, but we're just trying to push simultaneously in this case. And what ended up happening is this guy, we didn't know he was right here. He just peeked and surprised us both. He started popping Chronic, and I got the refrag. Good game, but that's because we're continually peeking the same guy at the same time. Another really important aspect of being a good duo partner or even squad mate is to be just aware intuitively of when you should be covering your teammates' movements or when you should be covering an angle that they are not holding so that they can be safe from a flank. Often in PUBG gunfights or gunfights in general, it's ideal to try to lure your opponents into multiple 2v1 situations where you and your teammate take down only one of the opponents, or 1v1 situations. Getting yourself or covering your teammates' movements and covering their peaks is how you prevent yourself from getting, or your teammate from getting, 2v1'd. Here's a real simple example of me covering Raj while he sprints across the hallway to try to draw gunfire from the last person in a duo. Here I start taking out a guy because it's an easy knock before I realize that his duo partner is prone on the grass right next to me. But Chronic has my back and covers my movements and covers my shots and helps me get to the second guy. Here we're finishing a gunfight and we're in the process of getting flanked by the last guy of a duo. And I realize from hearing footsteps that this guy is trying to get in behind us. So I pull a wide wrap so that I can cover Chronic's peak from a different angle. So I know a lot of players know this, but when it comes to having a teammate in this game and in general, make sure you're using smokes for a ton of reasons. Make sure you're picking up smokes all the time. If you leave smokes behind, you are making a mistake. Smoke your teammate when you res them. Smoke your loot when you pick it up. Smoke your opponent so that they can't see you. Smoke their angles out so they have bad angles. Smoke your path. You know, there's just so many times where smoke is an amazing utility, and it's really, really gonna stun you how often you end up using it for just a multitude of different reasons. You could smoke to even just distract your opponents, to draw their attention to a different spot on the circle. It works. All of these things are super relevant, and if you do them over and over, you'll get really good at knowing when to do them, and you'll get really reflexive at being able to pull out smoke and use it appropriately in the moment. So in this clip, I take out a guy that has 2 crate weapons. He's got a Groza and AWM, and I knew he had the AWM because he shot at my teammate, so I want it, because why wouldn't I loot at AWM? But the first thing I do is I smoke him because he's on the edge. He's not in a good position, except for the fact that he had a ghillie and was prone. I know there's guys uphill across the street. I know there's guys at the compound. The chances of me getting DMR'd into oblivion is not good here. So I loot his stuff, and then I, within the smoke, because like I said, I could get blasted easily. And then I try to cover some of my movements by throwing a couple of smokes across the street for my teammate and for me, so that if he starts getting hit by guys up the hill, he can use the smokes, and for me to move to him, I have the smokes. It's because I'm not as worried about the guys at the compound, even though they can hit me. But the guys uphill, I'm a little bit worried about. One thing is, one extra smoke in the street probably would have been worthwhile, but I saved one there. So overall, you can use smokes for all sorts of different things. I recommend holding on to them all the time, and I recommend using them a lot and just seeing what happens when you use them. Seeing what kind of gameplay changes occur because of the fact that you smoked. Use them aggressively, use them defensively, use them to make distractions, use them to give you more peaks, use them to take away peaks. They're super relevant to play with in this game. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be making more videos on just things you can do to be better at duos, squads, different aspects of the game, different aspects of gunplay, gunfighting, how to understand certain weapons. They just take me a little bit of time, so I'll try to be releasing this type of stuff as much as I possibly can while streaming. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.